all about sewing curves. So this is the king or queen size from my inedge quilt pattern. So it's a nice big curve, and these little pieces get sewn together for the baby or wall hanging size. So it's a much tighter curve, and it's a little bit more difficult to sew a small curve than it is to sew a big curve because it's more gradual. So you just have a little bit more space to ease in the fabric. But today we're going to be working with the throw size, which I've cut out right here. These are the templates that come with the pattern, and they're cutting instructions in the pattern. And the next thing we need to do is mark the centers. So the easiest way to do that is to just fold it over and put a little crease with your finger in the center, and do the same thing with the other piece. Okay, so now that we've got our creases marked, we're going to put these right sides together and match up the creases and put a pin right there. So I know it looks like these shouldn't fit together, but they do. And the next thing we need to do is put a pin at one side. It's important when you're pinning the edges to make sure that these edges line up just right. Now we're going to do the other edge. So for example, like I wouldn't want to pin this like that. I would want to pin it so that the edges stay lined up. Okay, and now we're going to take this to the sewing machine and sew it together. Okay, so now we're ready to sew. I've got my machine set up for a 1/4 inch stitch, which means I just need to keep my fabric lined up with the edge of my presser foot. I'm going to slide it under there, get it started right on the edge. And I'm not really worried about how wonky this looks down here. I'm only worried about what's under my presser foot and maybe an inch in front of my presser foot. So I'm going to start sewing. When I get to the pin, I'm going to slide it out and keep going just a little bit further. And then I'm just going to stop with my needle down. If you have that function on your machine, it makes it a lot easier to stop with your needle down. And then I'm going to line up the next little bit. And it looks like there's a lump right here, but if you see right where I'm going to be sewing, it's flat. So we're just going to sew a little bit more. And then stop and make an adjustment. And sew a little bit more. And just continue doing that all the way for the whole curve. Okay, so this is now what we have. It doesn't look great. There looks like there's pleats and puckers in it, but all it needs is a quick press. So I've got my wool pressing mat, and we're gonna press towards the background fabric. So I'm just gonna take my iron and kind of press it like that. Okay, already so much better. And then to get these little tucks out, I just give it a quick spray with flatter. It's my favorite. And press it again. And there you have it, a nicely sewn curve. And if I need to trim it up to get it to be the exact right size, I can.